Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be exploring the history of the most underrated Godzilla movies. Before we get started, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below right now. And what's your favourite Godzilla kaiju? And by the way, on my other video I got 10 comments, which is more than usual. So thanks for that. Well, about 3 of them were mine, but hey. So thank you for 160 something views on that video. And yeah, I really appreciate it. And Godzilla's been one of my favorite franchises for a very long time. So I'm really glad I'm back with another video, because of course all I've been making ever since is Godzilla reviews. Since I stopped doing my other videos for a while, and I'm doing this for now. But anyways, I'm going to be exploring the most underrated Godzilla films from 1954 to 2021. I know there's going to be some new ones this year, and there is Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex, but I'm going to do from 2021 to 1954. The first one a lot will disagree with, but I put Zilla 1998. I kind of just respect this one for a few reasons. First of all, this is the first Godzilla movie I ever watched, which is kind of sad, because this one, comparing it to the others, it's kind of not good. And I need to be inspired to watch more Godzilla films for my first movie, yet if this is my first movie, when I first saw this, I didn't feel inspired to watch Godzilla anymore until I found Godzilla King of the Monsters and decided to watch that. Because King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla 1998 were my first ever kaiju movies I ever watched. Then it was Godzilla vs. Then it was Godzilla 2014, then it was Godzilla vs. Kong, then it was Godzilla Final Wars, then it was the original Godzilla movie, and then so on. Because, the first films I got were from the Monsterverse, obviously, then Godzilla Final Wars, and then it was mostly Showa for a while, but I've seen all now, and I know about most of it. But anyways, the plot of this film honestly isn't bad. I feel really bad for Zilla's death. He didn't deserve to die. He was just an animal that ate fish. Like, the little noise he made, like, after he fell, onto the ground, the one when he was trapped in Brooklyn Bridge, that little noise he made me so sad. I was like, come on, the dude didn't deserve to die. It's almost like the humans are the antagonists of the film and Zilla's the protagonist. Like, sure, Zilla's attacking the city, but they're animals, they can't help it. Like, of course, on the human's point of view, this is bad, but Zilla's still an animal either way. But I haven't really described why I like it. I just find the story sweet. I'm one of the only people out there that doesn't mind some of the characters. I'll admit characters like Audrey were really annoying, but avoid that and you should be good. Next up, we got Son of Godzilla from 1967. A lot of people hate this film, and I will admit that Godzilla design is absolutely horrendous. I'm not talking about Manila, I'm talking about the design they used for Showa Godzilla in this movie. The worst Godzilla design I've ever seen, probably almost as bad as Zilla's. Actually, no, I didn't mind Zilla's. But, yeah, and I feel like they based this movie, they keep saying it's bad just because of Manila and how he looks, which kind of makes me upset because I don't even mind Manila. He's kind of cute. And yeah, so guys, comment down below if you like this movie, because me personally, this movie is, good. Not great or fantastic, but definitely gets, like, mildly good. And I will admit, the only thing I didn't like is it meant we had to take a break from seeing those cool monsters like King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra. Not Mechagodzilla yet, since we hadn't seen him yet. But, and then they got replaced by a giant spider named Kumonga. That's probably another thing people hate about the movie. A giant spider. Because a lot of people hate spiders. I wasn't bothered by it. I don't mind spiders. I can get over them. I've seen lots before. I'm used to it. It's just insects. But, anyways, this song's just kind of sweet. The ending's probably the saddest ending they've had in the Godzilla franchise. Well, no, it's not. Godzilla vs. Destroyer has the saddest ending of all of Godzilla, but this has the second saddest ending. I must say, this ending was so sad. I felt so bad for poor Manila. Like, Manila can't even defend himself over a spider. The poor thing. But anyway, I found it nice seeing Manila get trained to be a big Godzilla like Godzilla himself. It felt so nice to see. This film's underrated, like, come on. And honestly, the logo looks pretty nice as well. I just got to ignore the haters that don't like this one, because for real, Manila's cute, to be honest, in my opinion. And it's just the backgrounds are sweet, the ending is definitely strong. And yeah, moving on, we got Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 from 1993. This film is great. And you want to know why it's on my underrated list? Because I've seen quite a few people say this isn't a very good film, which is their opinions, but so much happened in this film, and I was so hyped about it. I found it so much fun just seeing all this. Mechagodzilla has an epic design. He poses a huge threat to Godzilla. Via Rodan's cool. Rodan saving Godzilla at the end was epic. It has some of the coolest scenes I've ever seen. And I will admit, Baby Godzilla's not the cutest, but in Godzilla Space Godzilla, when he becomes Little Godzilla, so a tiny bit bigger, he looks a lot cuter. And then we got Godzilla Jr., who I adore. I adore Godzilla Jr. But anyways, this is why I love this film. Like, Rodan and Mechagodzilla's a combination we didn't expect. Rodan's more of the King Ghidorah rival. Like, yeah. Anyways, moving on, we got Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, which I'm pretty sure is a sequel to Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, because Baby Godzilla is growing. And I must say, Space Godzilla was an amazing threat to Godzilla. His design was epic. Mechagodzilla as Moguera getting thrown in the final fight was probably one of my favourite things ever. Space Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla, that's a perfect combination. And Baby Godzilla looks a lot cuter this time, which is nice. But yeah, you want to know why this is underrated? Because quite a few people dislike the movie. I'm not really bothered by if the story's weird. I just like the monster action, really. It has some really good monster action. I even heard that this was the producer, I think. Maybe not the producer, but someone. I think it was producer's favourite film. Now, Destroy All Monsters. This was originally going to be the last Godzilla film they made, until they decided to make more. Which is fine. I would have been so sad if this was the last Godzilla film. If I had to name something good if this was the last Godzilla film they made, first of all, we wouldn't have witnessed Godzilla's Revenge, which is not on this list, by the way. And also, I would have been able to find the Showa films easier, because I've watched all the Showa films now, but it took me a while to watch all of them, since they were hard to find. If this film was the last film, then it'll be easy to watch the Showa films, because the reason why I get to watch so many of the old Gamera films is because the most recent one's old. But don't get me wrong, I'm glad Godzilla vs. Destroyer exists. Anyways, Godzilla Raids Again definitely deserves to be on here. Like, I know the final fight makes it look like toys, but I really don't care. It's still having the nostalgia really high. Is it a sequel to Godzilla 1954? I don't remember. But Anguirus, it feels really nice to realize that Anguirus was Godzilla's first ever rival from the Godzilla series. But yeah, this film is incredible. I love it. It contains a lot of action, because this is one of the quickest fights they've ever had. I just felt happy when Godzilla was on screen. He looked a bit like Elmo, but hey, Elmo's nostalgic. Anyways, the screen's still black and white, which I like. I like the 50s to 30s, like 30s to 50s and 40s black and white design. It looks really cool. Godzilla vs. Megalon doesn't deserve to be a hated film simply because of the goofiness in the film. I love goofy films. I think some people forget that this is the film where Godzilla has the dropkick. Well, I don't think they do, but it's definitely plus points for the movie. Megalon's a really cool looking villain. Gigan's return's pretty nice. And Jet Jaguar, I'm not too keen on Jet Jaguar, but I can get over him. I preferred him in Singular Point. I don't know why, I just had a huge soft spot on the Jaguar from Godzilla Singular Point. He was kind of cute. But anyways, Jet Jaguar was cool in this film, nostalgic. He reminds me of Ultraman. But anyways, the goofiness in this film is absolutely insane. Feel like we should have had more Godzilla screen time. The Godzilla screen time in this is similar to the amount he got in Godzilla vs. Kong. Because in Godzilla vs. Kong, they mainly focused on Kong, which, yeah, that's fine. It's nice to see Kong get a bit of the story. But this, we needed Godzilla in this film. Unlike, you could get over not seeing him much in the new Godzilla vs. Kong, but in this, we all wanted him. It probably got a bit boring, waiting for him to appear on the screen. But yeah. Now, a lot of people are going to be wondering why I surprisingly decided to put Godzilla King of the Monsters on this list. Because a lot of people might even consider this overrated. You're like, why do you call this underrated? Well, I've seen a lot of Monsterverse tier lists or rankings saying this was the worst one. Which feels really sad because, yes, the humans were the worst in this film. They were better in the other three. But, especially Kong Skull Island, the humans were the best in that film. Yes, debate me if you like in the comments if you disagree. Like, it's still opinions, but still. The villain in this film's epic. This has the best monster action by far. I just love this film. The hype in this film is incredible. And I understand why people love the trailer. I kind of wish I was a Godzilla fan back in 2019. Well, I was actually. I'd heard of it and liked it. It's just, I didn't watch it. The only film I'd heard of back in 2019 from Godzilla was 1998, the Showa movies, and Godzilla 2014. I hadn't heard of any of the others. And I also knew about Burning Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Destroyer. I didn't know the name of the film, though. Which is why, and I remember I also knew about Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. I kept calling it the movie with Godzilla and Rodan dancing together since I couldn't get it together because in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster there was a scene where Godzilla and Rodan were dancing together. Anyways, this isn't about the actual video. The reason why this is an underrated film is monster action. They keep forgetting about it. Like, a lot of people say The Darkness in 2014 was better, which, yeah, that's true. And it's understandable, but no, I like the blue sky in the background. And Godzilla's new glow is incredible. It reminds me of the original film with the spikes. I love Ghidorah's new design and abilities. Millie Bobby Brown was in this film. Like, yeah, I agree. She was a lot better in Stranger Things than Enola Holmes. I find Stranger Things quite mid now, but I still like it. It's still fun. I'm not a big fan of Stranger Things Season 4. That was kind of boring at times, but I like Season 3 and 2. Season 2 is underrated. But anyways, Millie Bobby Brown was still not bad in this film. It's just she could have done better. Anyways, moving on to Godzilla Final Wars 2004. Oh, wow. Why do people not like this film? Like, it's... Maybe I shouldn't have put it on here. It kind of considered fairly rated because there is one side where this film is extremely overrated, but another side where it's underrated because I've seen a lot of people say Final Wars is boundless, which means nothing can defeat it. Which, yeah, that's false, in my opinion. But, anyways, the reason why it's on the underrated list is because it's still true. I've seen people saying this film's bad. Like, I admit, the rock music actually works, which a lot of people would disagree with. If I had one complaint about this film, and it's a big one, we want to see Godzilla and Monster X fighting, don't we? It's the grand finale of Toho. And it's showing the humans. We don't care about the humans fight scenes. We want to see the kaijus. Like, it keeps replacing the kaiju fight scenes with the humans. Like, yes, it's story explaining, but what do we come to see Godzilla movies for? The kaijus, exactly. So that's why this film needs a bit of improvement, but either way, the music still works. Godzilla's new design is awesome. The fact that they put all the kaijus together in this film's okay. Kaiser Ghidorah's transformation was kind of weird, but I was still fine with it. And Gigan, who I did not expect to be in this film, I'm proud. Sadly, no Mechagodzilla, but may have had a hard time working if he did appear, I guess. And we got a lot of mini kaijus beside. A lot of people forget this is how Toho ended. It's well appreciated. Moving on to our final underrated movies, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus and Godzilla Tokyo SOS. The reason why these movies are on my underrated list is, first of all, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, by far the most hated film of the Millennium Era, is underrated mainly because of how cool the villain looks. The monster action's great. The black hole is awesome. And honestly, the story's decent. I will admit it should have been a sequel to Godzilla 2000, but whatever. And moving on to Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I don't know why. A lot of people hated the main character, and it should have been the girl that was the main character from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. But no, I like the new main character they used in SOS. But Kiryu's got a cool design. This is my favourite Mechagodzilla by far. Mothra and Mechagodzilla, like Rodan and Mechagodzilla from 1993, Mothra and Mechagodzilla is a duo we did not expect to work together, and I think it works. And fun fact, Godzilla Tokyo SOS weirdly used to be my favourite movie, and it also used to have my favourite final fight. It's one of the longer final fights that Godzilla has had. Half of the Tokyo SOS movie is used on its Godzilla final fight, but I don't care at all. That's what I come for. Anyways, thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe, like I said. Thank you for 160 something views. I forgot how many. Maybe just 160. Which of course isn't 1k, but hey, we're getting there. We'll slowly make it there each time. So thank you for watching today's video. And also, do you like Godzilla's dance moves from Invasion of Astro Monster? I kind of like them. And which dance or funny thing do you prefer? Gamera doing gymnastics or Godzilla doing the dance? Me personally, high difference to Godzilla doing the dance. That's one of my favourite things Godzilla's done. It's my second favourite thing he's done after the dropkick. And out of every Godzilla franchise, if you want to go to one that has a lot of comedy and funny scenes, the Showa era works perfectly for you. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good rest of day. And goodbye. Please hit that subscribe